Episode 7. Week 2 is done and over with, and it's time to start reacting and overreacting to everything that's happening around us.
Overreaction. ACLs?
Yeah. So the biggest thing, and we'll clear it up right off the hop, because every sports show that you put on, they're talking about it. The lack of preseason does not change an ACL injury. That is a muscle or a ligament inside of your knee, and no matter how much you work it out, it could still get hurt. It does not matter.
Are you a doctor?
Yeah, I am not a doctor. However, I'm pretty sure that's science.
All I know is...
I'm also not a scientist.
The way these guys are built now, like your joints, your ligaments, your muscles, you can't hold up forever.
Yeah.
Like back in the 80s, Bo Jackson ran out of his hip.
Yeah. Yeah. When it comes down to it, like if you want to blame the turf or the grass, sure. You want to blame your shoes, okay. You want to blame the fact that you didn't have a preseason game? Yeah.
They don't play in the preseason anyways.
Yeah. It's
a joke. Like it's embarrassing at this point. It's unfortunate that many guys got injured. Like, I guess like week 17 we call it Black Monday. Yeah. They just came early this year.
So that's when the coaches are getting fired and stuff, right?
Yeah, everybody gets fired the last game of the season. It's like it just came early and they're like, oh, well, you're a big name player. You're out.
Yeah. And it's Shane's fantasy team saying fuck you to everyone else that was chirping me last week for losing 3 players. Yeah, whoever owns Christian McCaffrey, fuck you.
Saquon Barkley, fuck you. And the list goes on and on.
Yeah. Cortland Sutton, fuck you.
Come on, man. You just traded him
to me. Well, whatever. You should be in a good mood because the Bucs finally got their win. They looked pretty good, I think. I mean, they looked better.
They looked significantly better. Tom did look more comfortable.
Yeah.
Missing Chris Godwin definitely hurt. Mike Evans did what Mike Evans does.
Right.
And he looked at the Mike Evans of a couple years ago when he didn't have someone else to rely on. He kind of took over that first half. Every drive he was making big catches, converting third downs. That's where Tom was looking. And
I saw the 2 back shoulder throws, and I was like, that's just not fair. You might as well just not play defense.
We talked about how timing's off in Tampa. You and I have talked about this a lot. Like it's chemistry. I think it's slowly coming. Mm-hmm. All those illegal practices, they were very illegal, we'll say, that Tom had privately. That's it's kind of show. It's just now, can they put it together as a whole unit? Right. Leonard Fournette got rolling. We got 12 touches this time, 12 carries out of 3.
And I think Jones outplayed him still.
So
Jones is a stud.
I think that 2-headed horse right there is going to do some damage to a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Is now less. How many points can they score? Score. That was really tough for me to put out there.
Blah, blah, blah.
What's that one you always warm up with?
Yeah. Ow now, brown cow.
Yeah, I got to work on that one.
Yeah.
So the Bucs. I think I'm happy. We need a divisional win.
Yeah.
To go 0-2 in the division, you're not bouncing back from that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, luckily you have some pretty shit teams in your division.
Well, Atlanta's gonna blow it.
Yeah. Hopefully...
I'll give them a 30-point head start.
Yeah, usually it's about 20 that they need. Like the
20, 25, fourth quarter. Yeah, we'll let them back in.
Yeah, whatever works.
It's just for TV, right? You got to make it interesting.
Another bird team. Like, do you think that the Cardinals are for real?
I do. I wasn't on their bandwagon. I thought they can contend maybe and push for a wild card spot. I did not think they were that good. Mm-hmm. Kyler Murray's playing out of this world.
For a second-year quarterback, huge.
Definitely didn't expect that. Didn't see it coming. Bringing in D-Hop definitely made a difference for them, though.
For sure.
He has a legit number one. Last year was thrown to the ages wonder, but Fitzy isn't Fitzy anymore. He has that guy. They're clicking on all cylinders. Their defense is playing good football. They beat the 49ers last week, who were healthy last week.
Right.
And then they went out there and had their way this week. They got everything going right now. Cliff Kingsbury has got a fine-tuned machine running there. And Kyler Murray's just doing what he wants. I think he might even sneak into that MVP category as a dark horse.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Now, if you were saying the NFC East, and I think the Cowboys lead that division currently.
Washington's first place.
Jeez.
Yeah. The football team is running the East.
Now let's just say that we merged those two divisions. What place does the Cowboys come in the NFC West?
Third, maybe fourth.
I was willing to say sixth because they're not better than any of the teams in that division, in my opinion. As well, the Washington football team is ahead of them in their own standing, so how can you put them ahead of them? And even all things considered, great comeback. They did some great things. However, you gave up 39 points. And you can't give up 39 points in this league and actually beat real teams that have a history, not the Falcons. And for all those people out there that are watching, I want you to make sure that if you have a Falcons fan, a friend that's a Falcons fan, just call them and check in. Make sure they're okay. Because they've had a tough week. They've really had a tough fandom.
They've had a tough couple of years, man. Like, the Super Bowl thing. Also, how does Dan Quinn have a job?
I'm not sure.
He should have been fired in the Super Bowl on the sideline when that went down.
Their owner, Arthur Blank, I'm pretty sure that he's Weekend at Bernie's. I'm not even sure. You can't be fired if your owner's not actually alive. Dan Quinn is Weekend at Bernie's, and that's why no one's paying attention.
I don't get it. He should have been fired then. After this, how do you keep him around? You can't just blow leads like that. In that division, you can't let those things happen. You're trying to compete with the Saints. You think Drew Brees blows leads like that? No. And now you have Tom playing in there. You think he's going to blow a lead like that? Tom's not Tom from 2010, 2009, whatever you want to say. But he's not blowing a 20-point lead. And I'm not saying it's Matty Ice's fault. He didn't turn the ball over. But he scored 39 points. You're a defensive coach. And you still lost. Yeah.
The defense is bad. The secondary is worse. And they're even part of the defense. So.
Yeah. They're atrocious.
That game... Yeah, it was exciting to watch the end because that's the kind of thing that you never see. There was a point, and this isn't my stat. This is a stat that I read. So if I was doing my bibliography, I would give them credit, but I don't remember who the fuck said it. But there was a point that there was more than a 99% chance that the Falcons were going to win the game, and they lost. How is that even possible?
That's a skill.
It was 99.6% chance that they were going to win the game.
As a betting man, I would not have taken the Cowboys.
Yeah, we actually avoided that game in our pick'em because we're like, fuck, they're both gonna lose. They both suck.
Neither of them deserve to.
Yeah,
a win. So
biggest winners in that game was anybody that had Dak Prescott in fantasy, or Ezekiel Elliott, Julio Jones, or Matt Ryan, or that Gage guy who apparently just does everything for them now.
Also, I'm not gonna say his name. The kicker in Atlanta, he put up, I think, 16 points.
Yeah. Now. Beyond that game, and we're 2 weeks in, so what team, good or bad, has shocked you?
I'm not done yet with this game.
Okay, let's circle back.
Okay, we're going to go back. I don't understand the onside kick. It pisses me off, and I'm so angry about this. They literally just went and watched the guy run and fall on the ball. I don't understand. I'm getting fired up.
Yeah, well, there's a guy out there, and his name is John Hudson, and he is a great special teams coordinator, so maybe the Falcons should give him a shout.
Yeah. Literally, call anybody.
Yeah.
At this point. Call producer Liam. He might say, just fall on the ball. It's that simple. When you are receiving the kick, you do not have to wait 10 yards.
Right. You
were taught this from a very young age. When you aren't getting paid millions of dollars.
I think that they thought they were playing a game of spin the bottle, and they were...
The ugly girl spun the bottle, no, we're out.
Nobody wanted a piece of that.
Yeah, it was... I'm mad. I'm frustrated. I didn't want the Falcons to win. But I don't understand.
Well, yeah, and what you're saying, I definitely don't care if the Falcons win or lose. However, I never like it when the Cowboys win, because there's nothing worse than Cowboys fans. They think they won the fucking Super Bowl. You guys were literally gifted something, and you're still in second place.
Now, are they worse than Patriots fans?
I'm going to say no, but only because maybe I'm a little bit more biased. And most Patriots fans that I know, with the exception of my father-in-law, just jumped on the bandwagon when they're like, oh, Tom Brady's so good. But my father-in-law is legit. He's got old school sweaters and shit in his basement.
I don't know who are like worse fans. There's like, I guess Leafs fans, I would say, are the worst
Leafs fans are terrible. Canadians fans are really, really bad.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
I'm a horrible person too, so I get it. I was a Canadians fan growing up, so.
Yeah, no, they're shit. I can't stand them. It's probably like the French in me that makes me not want to like them.
But as far as football goes, like Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
Patriots fans.
Disclaimer, he didn't really spit COVID.
I don't think Patriots fans are even fans. Majority of them in our generation.
Yeah.
Like, you literally just saw the Whitaker Super Bowls and like, hey, that's what I'm going to cheer for.
Right.
So, I'm a Tom Brady fan. I've always been a Tom Brady fan. But I can't stand Patriots fans. So, I think they're up there with Cowboys fans. Sorry to circle back. We're going to the next topic. I got a little fired up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stuff that's shocking us, and for me, like what shocked me in the first 2 weeks is how bad the Eagles are. I can't. It's a terrible division, and I thought, and I said it on the last show, I was pushing all my fucking chips in the middle. I'm going all in. They're gonna beat the Rams, and they sewered it, and it was bad. It was out of control for a while, and I understand that the Rams are good. Sean McVay seems to have that thing like figured out, but how the Eagles are 0-2 right now, and they haven't played the top tier teams, I'm worried for them. They might only have 5 wins this year. And how long until Carson Wentz gets hurt and they got to put in Jalen Hurts? Oh boy, they're in trouble.
I think Wentz is done. I just think this is it for him.
I'm not sure if he ever started.
Like, I don't think, even like injuries alone, I just don't think, I think it's it
Like
for him.
the Sandlot. It's like, you're a has-been. You're a never was. Sorry, that's Mighty Ducks. Bad reference. 90s movies.
But yeah, no, Wentz just can't figure it out there. He can't stay healthy. Even when he is healthy, he doesn't look great. Maybe he's not healthy. We just don't know it yet.
Maybe he'll be an awesome coach for Disney. Be Gordon Bombay.
Go back to North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Show him how it's done. But yeah, it's like for me, it's what Mitch Trubisky is doing in Chicago, leading them the right way. They brought in Nick Foles to be the starter.
Yeah.
Like, they did not extend Trubisky at all. They brought in Foles.
They declined his 5th-year option, right?
Yeah. So they brought in Foles to be the guy. Mitch beat him out. Maybe that was the motive the whole time. I have no. It's a lot of money on a backup quarterback, though.
Yeah.
Which that guy's been a lot of money as a backup quarterback in his time.
$20 million insurance policy.
So that's kind of where I'm at with what surprised me is the Bears offense. And like, they're 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
That blew my mind when I saw that. Like, I would, if I was I do bet a lot, so I would say I'm
as a betting man.
Yeah, as a betting man, I would never have said the Bears are going to be 2-0.
Yeah.
And what blows my mind is they will not make the playoffs.
What's crazy is like the first 2 weeks, like I've just bet against them, thinking like, "Fuck, the Bears suck. The Bears suck," and then
you expect them to suck.
I ate shit both weeks. So this week, I don't know who they're playing, but I'm probably going to pick the Bears. So
and they let you down.
Yeah, of course.
That's when it starts.
Of course, I'm just tired of the surprise. I like to know what's up.
They're not going to win the division.
Definitely not.
Green Bay's going to cakewalk through that division.
Anybody that plays Green Bay's there's actually an awesome game like Green Bay and New Orleans play this week. It's gonna be sick.
What's your run? 97?
Should be.
A-Rod's on a different level, but that doesn't shock me. But yeah, no, I think the Bears are the 2-0 team that probably won't make the playoffs because that ride has to end.
Yeah.
And they're not going to win the division, so
and
they
the
have to go
awesome.
for and they have to go for a wild card spot. I'm sure there's a 7th spot, but do they get in there? I don't know. There's a lot of good teams that I see. The NFC West is what's shocking me.
They might all get in. It's more likely that they're all going to get in than the Bears make the playoffs.
Could you imagine all 4?
Yeah.
Is that your bold prediction?
Yeah. It's more likely that every team from the NFC West makes the playoffs than the Bears make it. Yeah.
I like it. That's a sexy pick.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, so we talked about it earlier, and I'm not going to go – I don't want to talk about your fruit.
Yeah.
And how low it hangs. You brought it up earlier when we were talking about this, the DP, the defensive pass interferences.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, get it. I'm a homer. But I can also
You finally admitted it.
I always have been. Homer Simpson, sitting here all day, all night, whatever. But the defensive pass interferences that got continued to get called out on Joe Hayden, I was so fucking furious.
Just cover the guy properly.
It was ridiculous. The ball is launched over the guy's head, and I know it's unlikely that I'm going to curse, right? But there was curse words flying out of this basement. I was happy that my son was outside playing, my other daughter and my wife were gone. Like, there was words coming out of the basement that were unsavory words for children. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know, man. I'm an offensive guy. There's pass interference on every play. But I do agree, let them play.
Well, let them play to an extent, but when the ball is thrown out of bounds, and even if, like, oh my gosh, my hip touched your hip because we were both looking at the ball, no shit, it's fucking physics.
I don't know, for me, last week it was the offensive pass interference. I don't think they have a system. It's a judgment call. I have to get it straight.
I think that the refs have a conference call, probably Wednesdays, and they're like, hey guys, so we noticed that you called too much of this, so we're going to need you to call a whole bunch of this shit. And like, holding, just go ahead and ignore that. We need you to focus heavily on roughing the passer because we don't want quarterbacks to get hurt. As you saw at 4 o'clock, the Sunday nighter and the Monday nighter, it was all roughing the passers. And we're definitely going to want you to call pass interference because people love when you score points. Yeah. All right, cool. We good?
Well, that's what the game's about, scoring points.
Hockey League, how's your biceps? Good? We good.
Defense wins championships, they say, but that doesn't get you ratings.
Yeah.
And so I'm with you. I think the DPIs, it is called. I think they have to let go of the hand fighting. That's the big one.
We won 2-0. No such thing as a bad win.
But yeah, like the hand fighting, I think that's one they have to get rid of.
Yeah.
Because that shit's happening the whole way down the field. Like if I see one-on-one, that's where that ball's going. So that's all it comes down to. So they got to keep moving on it. They got to figure it out. So
we're going to start, I mean, now we've tied our nice little pretty bow on week 2. It's time to start week 3. We have just an absolute juggernaut of a game coming up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. Just a couple of blue chip talented filled teams. And, what do you think? Who's going to win? This might be the most watched game in Florida this week.
I'm sure there's a high school game that'll get more ratings.
I'm almost certain that whoever Florida State plays is going to get higher ratings.
For like the second week in a row, it's like, this is what we're forced to watch. And I understand they all get a primetime game.
And we're fucking junkies. Like, it's not even like we're forced to watch it. It's just going to happen. Just
we're going to watch it. Line me up,
put it in my veins. Put this football into my veins. I want to watch it.
And that's what we're going to get stuck with. And I don't care who wins this game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the Dolphins.
So you're picking the Dolphins?
I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm going to ride out.
Because we got shit on the line for this, eh?
Yeah, I know. We do got shit on the line. But I got to take the Dolphins. I like Fitzpatrick. I've liked him since time in Tampa. He's a fun guy. And like, in his eyes, it's like, well, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to sling this fucking ball. I'm either going to lose the game or I'm going to win the game. He doesn't believe in game management. So I'm going to go. It's fun to watch. I'm taking the Dolphins because I just don't care.
For me, I'm going to take the Jaguars because if I could grow a mustache that looked like awesome like that, I would fucking do it. And they also are allowing fans in their stadium, which I think is hilarious.
They have fans in the first place?
That's why it's so funny. It's a double entendre. But yeah, I think the Jaguars are probably a little bit better than what we thought they were going to be. And today they came out and said that even if they had the top pick, they might not go quarterback because they like Minshew that much. So I'm just going to assume that Buddy needs to start winning because there's 0% chance that they're actually going to follow through with that. So if they do get the first round pick, he's screwed. So he desperately needs to win. And if they were to win this week, they're 2-1. And they rode the Titans to the wire.
Well, after the Dolphins win, I'm going to say that right now, after the Dolphins win, we'll be tied in our pick'ems. And I cannot wait for you to do your polar bear dip out in Port Stanley in March.
Yeah, so for anybody that missed it, we kind of agreed to it on the last show, but we never officially put it in there. But we're going to do, whoever loses our pick'em, which is going to run all the way through to the Super Bowl, is going to do the polar bear plunge for Kids Can. It's Kids Can?
Child Can.
Child Can. I was close. So we're going to raise money. So we're going to put something together, whether it's GoFundMe or whatever, where you guys can make donations. As a show, we're going to make donations. Any merchandise we sell, we're going to make donations off of our merchandise as well. So
yeah, and I can't wait to see Shango running in there, and I'm gonna laugh the whole time. It will be live.
Yeah, I've been going to the gym though, so like I'm clean.
That
over
does
here, by
not
the way.
save you from freezing cold water.
Wait until I go in there in a thong bikini.
Oof. I will not do that.
Yeah,
No one needs
But,
to see that.
you gotta get your lines cleaned up, bro. It's okay. Get your lines cleaned up. So yeah, I mean, like,
Now-
yeah. Now that
Did
you're
you just
picturing,
picture me in a thong? That's what just happened there. You're like, you lost your words.
it was. I imagined a thong disappearing on you.
It would disappear.
Just like, but yeah, speaking of disappearing, like Extermination, our defensive exterminator of the week. I'm gonna go back to your TB12 game, and I'm not gonna call them Buccaneers all year. I'm just gonna call them the TB12s,
That's what we are.
and that's fine. Devin White had 15 tackles, 11 of them were solo. He forced a safety. He was all over the field, and I mean, I'm not saying that Carolina is a great team, but I'm not sure that the Bucs are able to keep them out of the end zone like that without him.
No, I agree with you. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
And for me, on my offensive pest, I'm going Tyler Higbee. I know he had 3 touchdowns. Like, don't pick the MVP,
stud.
but he only had 5 catches, which is a good day for a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I think his combined touchdowns might have been maybe 16 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of that game, and it looked like every time they threw to him, there was actually somebody on him. And he was just like, "Yeah, hold my beer."
Yeah, I got this. So that's what I'm going with. Like a target like that in the red zone, you're going to take full advantage of it. And like they couldn't stop him.
Yeah,
And like it's not like he's the most athletic guy, not the fastest guy. He's not breaking guys' ankles. So it's just annoying when he beats you.
just a fucking big dick stud.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going with mine. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, check out all of our social media platforms. We're on every single one possible. Get the podcasts are out there too, but don't forget to click and like and subscribe on YouTube. All right, man. Cheers. Week 3, here we go.